Hi Scott, this is Roberto from FPV Racing Hobbies, and today I'm making a video, an instructional on how to connect to the Swell Pro Fly app on your phone. Now there's certain reasons why you would want to connect and use that amazing feature from Swell Pro. One of them is setting waypoints. I think setting waypoints is a really cool feature, so you could actually set the controller down and do what you need to do and have the drone fly using the commands you preset. I think the Swell Pro Fly app is a really cool feature that the Splash drone has in order for you to set waypoints, for example, is a really cool feature. The Follow Me feature is also another really cool design that the app has, and it also gives you telemetry, so data from your Splash drone for things like altitude, ground speed, the roll, pitch, and yaw axis of the drone itself. It even tells you the altitude. So this app, not only do you get telemetry on your controller, but you can also get telemetry on the Swell Pro Fly app on your phone. So the first thing you want to do is you want to turn on your controller. Cool. It's always a good sound. After your controller would be the drone. And after you hear that one beep, you know that the drone is ready. I want to give it a few seconds. And to tell you really quickly, Bluetooth ground station, the data link module, this one receives actually transmission from the drone. So this one connects to another Bluetooth module on the drone itself. And so the third step would be to turn the Bluetooth module on. And you're going to see that it's blinking blue right here. That means that it's ready to pair. And as soon as you turn this on, the next step would be to turn on the Bluetooth on your phone. So I have an Android, and for me to turn on the Bluetooth would be up here. And from there, a few options would be presented to you. If you're using Android, you're going to want to connect to UAV1 right here on the available devices. But if you're running iOS or Apple, you want to connect to UAV2. But since I am using Android, I'm going to go ahead and click UAV1, and I'm pairing. After that step, you want to open the Swell Pro Fly app right here. And if you were wondering where to get that on your phone, you can go to the website of Swell Pro, www.swellpro.com, and go over to downloads on the downloads section, and you are going to have a bunch of options there. And one of the options there would be the Swell Pro Fly app. I believe for Android users, you cannot get the Swell Pro Fly app from the Play Store, but as far as I know, if you're using iOS or Apple, you can go to the App Store actually, or the Apple Store. You can go to the Apple Store and download the app from there, which is really convenient for Apple users. Anyway, so now that I opened the Swell Pro Fly app, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to open the Swell Pro Fly app. And then there would be some Chinese writing right here, which I always click and tap this one on the right, this option. And for some reason, I'm assuming that is accept or OK. So the first thing that you're going to see on the front page, or the main page, would be your location and the location of the Bluetooth. Or actually, no, this would be the location of your phone itself. Now, I showed you earlier that I paired with the Bluetooth ground station module, this one. And I told you that on the bottom right, there would be a blue blinking. The initial pairing that I did with my phone to the Bluetooth module was just for me, for my phone, to be able to recognize this one, but we're not necessarily paired to it yet. And as I've said earlier, the bottom right would be blinking blue, which means that it's ready to pair. For us to actually initialize the pairing, to complete that pairing, on the screen of your Swell Pro Fly app, on the top right, above this crosshair right here, you're going to want to, it says here on the left, it says disconnected. That's because we haven't successfully paired yet. For us to do that, we're going to go over and tap this button that says Bluetooth right there, and we're going to look for UAV1. And again, if you're using iOS or Apple, that you're going to be looking for UAV2. Now if you notice here, there's two UAV1s. That just means that I've connected to multiple Bluetooth ground stations. And in this case, I'm just going to guess that it's the second one listed here. And the reason why I think that is because the first UAV1 is a previous Bluetooth ground module that I linked to. Now it says here on the top right, we're connected in green text. It means that we're successfully connected to the Bluetooth module, and for us to be able to actually confirm that, we can go look at the Bluetooth ground module. And again, for terminology's sake, this is the Bluetooth ground module because this is going to stay with you next to the phone on the ground, and the Bluetooth module itself is going to be on the drone. So this Bluetooth ground module, to make sure that we are linked to a device, on the bottom right would be a solid blue light. Now if you remember earlier, that was blinking and ready to pair, but now it is a solid blue, which means that it's successfully paired. And one of the cool things about being paired to your Bluetooth ground station, which pairs to your phone and also gets information from the Bluetooth module on the drone itself, is that the Bluetooth module on the drone is getting information from the flight controller. So the Bluetooth module on the drone and the flight controller are talking to each other. And that's how you get telemetry or flight information and flight data on your Bluetooth app. See over here on the right, we have roll, pitch, and yaw degrees on the first three over here. We have ground speed up beneath that. Then we have climb rate and altitude. And you're going to see these be updated in real time as soon as you fly your drone. As a matter of fact, even right now, if I move the drone a little bit, I would get some sort of telemetry and data. So I'm rolling it to the right, and you can see the roll degrees changing. I'm pitching forward. You can see the pitch angle changing as well. So that's kind of like one way to confirm that you are linked to your ground station and that your ground station is linked to the Bluetooth module on the drone. So on the Swell Pro Fly app, this is where we can set waypoints and select follow me using the follow me feature. This is a really cool way to kind of automate your drone so that you can put down the controller and do what you need to do. A lot of people actually, I've noticed, use this feature for water sports. If you're a skier and you want your drone to follow you, or a jet skier or whatnot, all you have to do is have your ground station in your pocket, hopefully waterproofing it, in your pocket or next to you while you move around. Or if you're in a car and you want your drone to follow you, all you have to do is have this next to you. But also on the Swell Pro Fly app, you can do things like unlock the motors, and you can also control the takeoff from the app itself. Now, in order for you to do that, you have to have at least 9 satellites. You can't unlock the motors if you're using the Swell Pro Fly app if you're under a roof, because you're not going to get any satellite reception. you have to be outside in order for you to get GPS and satellite. So pretending we're outside and we have over 9 satellites, what you're going to do is you're going to hit the unlock button. See, you actually have to swipe it to the right in order to unlock it. But right now we don't have any satellites because we're under our roof, we're inside the store. If I try to do that, it's not going to work. At this point you should be able to have unlocked it, and as soon as you unlock the motors should start spinning, and then you can hit ascend. And hitting that ascend, your drone will take off, and descend, your drone will land. And pretending we have gone up and we're up in the air, you actually have the choice to have it hover with the Swell Pro Fly app. You also have the option to return to home on the very left. So one of the more popular features of the Swell Pro Fly app is setting waypoints. Waypoints would be on the second, it would be the second option on the top left. And setting waypoints, if you notice right here, that airplane icon, that's the location of your drone, but more specifically, that's the location of the Bluetooth module inside a drone. And what waypoints do actually is, so you're setting a course for the drone using the satellite map. And what you do is you click and tap certain parts of that map in order for the drone to go to those certain points. And you can set as many points as you want, and the really cool thing about these points is that for every point that you click, you can edit the altitude of that location, number one, and number two, you can edit the amount of time you want your drone to be in that spot. So for example, I'm setting 3 waypoints, point A, point B, and point C, where point A, I want the drone to be 80 meters, for example. So point A, I'm going to set my drone to be at point A in an altitude of 80 meters for a duration of 3 seconds. And then point B would be an altitude of 160 meters for a duration of 80 seconds, for example. Then point C would be an altitude of 20 meters for a duration of 2 seconds. So those waypoints would be set before you take off. So you're going to go on your Swell Pro Fly app, you're going to click Add, and then from the map itself you're going to tap anywhere on the map. For example, I am going here. That would be the first waypoint, and then I am going to go here next, for example, so that's my second waypoint. And then my third waypoint would be right here, and then let's set a fourth waypoint, be right there. So now that I have 4 waypoints on the Bluetooth Fly app, namely 1, 2, 3, and 4, I have the option to send those waypoints to my drone using this button right here, that's send, or I could actually edit every single waypoint depending on how high I want it to be, or how many circles I wanted to do before hitting the second waypoint. And to give you an example, on the bottom left we have our waypoint numbers. So I have waypoint number 1, for example. If you tap that waypoint number, you have certain options. So once you tap that, you have a bunch of options, and one of those options is setting the time of hold, or as they say here, optional delay in seconds to hold position. So all that is as soon as the drone gets to that waypoint, it's going to hold that position for, let's say, 31 seconds. And that position will be held at an altitude of 30 meters. But we can also play with that, and let's bring that all the way to 150 meters, or 153. Another option for a waypoint number would be the circle. So again, the first option for these waypoints is for things like travel height, waypoint altitude, and waypoint hold. The second would be circle. And what this does is that it sets the orbit circumference. So the first thing that's going to happen is that your drone will get to the waypoint, and as soon as the GPS confirms that your splash drone is in the waypoint that it's supposed to be in, you have options for the altitude of the circle. You can set the size of the circle. So right now I'm going to set it to 50 meters. It would have a radius of 50 meters. And then you can also set the number of turns that you want to make for the circle. So for waypoint 1, we set it at 36 meters for the altitude and holding there for 22 seconds. And our circle is going to be a radius of 50 meters, and we're going to do 6 turns. So that's going to be 6 turns in 22 seconds. And once you're done, you're going to hit save and back. And if you want to set waypoints 2, 3, and 4, you can go ahead and do so by tapping on the waypoint number. Let's set waypoint 3, for example. We're going to give it an altitude of 89 meters, holding there for 22 seconds. We're going to set the circle at... So if you move the altitude of the circle, I believe that you're going to move the altitude of the waypoint as well. So going back to the circle, we're going to move it up to 171 meters. The radius would be 72 meters. So that's around 210 feet. And then we'll do 2 turns. Again, once you're done, save and back. And if you have determined and chosen the settings for your waypoints, all you have to do is hit send. What that's going to do is it's going to send it to the Bluetooth module in the drone. And as soon as you send that and it successfully sends it to the drone, you can hit execute. And what that's going to do is that it's going to start the predetermined waypoints by you. So that's it for our video of the Swell Pro Fly app. If you have any more questions, we're a call away. There's also more details on the Swell Pro Fly app on the Swell Pro website. They also have a video, so if I missed anything, I do apologize, and I can send you the video that Swell Pro has made, but this one was specifically made for you, and I hope I covered as many things as I can.
Start command. Start command. I'm sorry.
Swell Pro Fly app, I think. Take 25 for Scott from New York. Hey Scott, this is Roberto from FPV Racing Hobbies, and today you're gonna learn something new. Hey Scott, this is Roberto from FPV Racing Hobbies, and today I am tasked to make That's when I had it all good, you know? So also on the Bluetooth Fly app, but also on the Bluetooth, why do I keep saying that? I keep saying that.